Alrighty, welcome down here to Weiser Field, obviously the beautiful facility here at Clarion Area High School. My name is Brock Jordan. I'm here with Dr. Joe Carrico, the man, the myth, the legend, as we call him around these parts. But we're here for the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show, also sponsored by Dubrook. And Dr. Carrico, you know, first of all, this facility's been in the news recently. You have the new turf coming in.
Yeah, pretty excited about it, pretty excited. Conversation started probably a year and a half or so ago. We operate on a land deficit here at Clarion area. So the conversation when we brought the games back from the stadium, the college stadium, because we wanted more of a high school feel. So we started doing things like the bleachers and the concession stands and some other things to make it, you know, a home high school feel. The problem is to have a good grass field, you have to really limit access. So you can't practice on it. You can't have too many events on it. So it really restricts your ability to use a field to keep it this way so it's playable. So to do that, we practice up top.
Yep.
So that started the whole conversation around we need parking. You know, we got to start using the field more, and it got into like the turf conversation, which is, you know, the way to use your field extensively and all the time and make it a community asset, you know, where other groups can use it, is to look at turf. So that's started that journey.
Right. Well, hey, we have a lot to talk about tonight. So, like you said, we'll get into the community aspect of it. I know you have a lot of plans for that. You know, whether it becomes, you know, the band uses it for practice, everybody can use it for practice. But like I said, we got a lot to talk about tonight. So we're gonna take a break here, and when we come back, we're gonna get into the details, get into the nitty gritty. And you're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show, also sponsored by Dubrook, and we'll be right back.
Redbank Chevrolet, Clarion County's trusted vehicle dealer. At Redbank Chevrolet, we're more than just a dealership. We're your neighbors, your go-to team for everything Chevy. From the moment you walk through our doors, we're here to exceed your expectations with unbeatable service, great selection, and a fun car buying experience. Stop by or schedule your visit today. Together, let's drive.
Since 1946, we've delivered. From commercial to residential, we've got you covered. We proudly serve and support our local communities. Call 844-DUBROOK or visit us online. Dubrook, your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier.
At Clarion Forest VNA, we bring compassionate care to your doorstep. From skilled nursing to hospice services, we're here for you and your loved ones. Clarion Forest VNA, your trusted partner in home health care.
Hi folks, this is Wiley from Redbank Chevrolet. We wanted to let you know about Chevrolet's new exciting offer. They've come out with a mid-month special on these two particular trucks right here, 2026 1500 LT Z71 package Silverados. There's an extra $1,000 off now. Both of these trucks are over $7,900 off.
So you're saying these trucks are almost $8,000 off and they're 2026?
That's correct, 2026s, and you might even qualify for more incentives. And don't forget, you might not want this truck or this truck, but we have supplier pricing on all of our 1500s right now.
Alrighty, welcome back here to the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. This is Brock Jordan here with Dr. Joe Carrico. We're here at the great Weiser Field. Like I said, been in the news recently, but let's get into a little bit of, you know, I know we already kind of talked about where the idea came about, you know, getting a use for the field that's more for just the football team, getting everybody involved, getting the community involved. So what are some of the things that you see the community being able to do with it?
So the board has been adamant, if they were going to move forward with this project, it has to be a community asset. It's not strictly for the football team. It's for all the school activities. So our health and physical education department is very excited about it. Our middle school, they still have some hybrid time where they like to get outside and play. They get on the field. Spring, you have, you know, baseball, softball can work out on this surface. Obviously the football program. We're meeting on Monday with leadership from the YMCA and the Strikers. The goal is to really turn the lights on 6 days a week and turn them off at 9:30 at night, and you know, make sure that the community has as much access as they need to have a quality facility. So and that includes the concession stand that we just put in. So that's the goal.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about that, you have weather like this where, you know, teams have already started playing baseball games. A lot of teams haven't even been outside to practice yet because these dirt fields, they aren't usable.
Right.
And, you know, we just had snow earlier this week.
Right.
We can't use it for that. So
Right.
that really does bring that opportunity around. But one of the coolest things, I think, the people that really maybe didn't read into it too much is the marching band and all the people. The people are going to be able to use it. You know, people probably didn't realize your marching band practices in the parking lot.
We put paint lines in the parking lot, and and then they get on the dirt practice field every now and then when they get a chance, and we do let them come down here every now and then to get some practice time. But the turf surface really opens up all those venues and allows as many people to have as much access, and we'll streamline the process to make it user friendly and community friendly.
Yeah, and you know, talking with some of those coaches and, you know, the band directors, what's been their overall consensus of, you know, how open this is going to be for everybody to use? What's their thoughts on it?
Oh, I think everybody's excited about the opportunity to get on a quality surface, and you know, to your point earlier, and the university is a good partner with us. I had this talk just last week. We call and we say, hey, can the baseball or softball teams go work out? Well, they have baseball too. They have softball. They have track. They have, spring football starting here quick. So it's not that they don't partner well with us. It's that, they have their priorities, which is certainly their teams and programs, and we understand all that. The option is to drive the Du Bois or drive the Butler. So, we see all that stuff and all those opportunities for our community. And strikers, they just called us this week. Their numbers are so big that they have to look for extra surfaces to play. So, YMCA, they're in the same boat we are. They're landlocked down at their facility. So, they run flag football, they run youth soccer, they have all these programs they want to do. And just getting our kids out here, health and physical education, just getting them out here in the middle school kids and, using it as much as we possibly can. So
yeah, and the timing of it really couldn't be better either. We've seen what Brookville's turned their facility into. Their facility over there looks great, and the turf just kind of makes it pop. They're on their second, third year of it, and now you're going to be still one of the only fields around here. I know Carn City uses the turf, but you'll be one of the only schools around here with that turf field. How important has that been? Have you talked to some of these other schools on ideas that they use, maybe companies they brought in, what's kind of the communication been like with the other schools that already have the turf?
We met with Brookville, met with Oil City, talked to Carn City briefly. It's all the same conversation. There's not a lot of net negatives to having a turf surface. The irony is once people get comfortable with it, it's actually availability. Like some of these schools will leave their lights on until 9, 10 o'clock at night,
right?
Because you have all kind of programs that want to be a part of that. So, and it's good. Like, we're excited about. Like I said, there's no tax increase. We've been saving. We've been pretty frugal for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and we have the finances. And this is not just the only. I want people to understand that. Turf is not the only big project we have this year. Like, we're really investing in our facility. So, we're doing new boilers, we're doing new flooring in the high school, we're doing water lines at the elementary school, we're doing new paving project down there. So there's a lot of good things going on at the district. This just happens to be a big one as well, and pretty high profile.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then just talk about the timing of it, because I saw it takes 90 to 120 days, so 3 to 4 months. And I think the first game's about 150 days, so it's about 5 months or so, give or take.
Right.
When's this project going to really start to get kicked off with the building of it?
So that was a big request from the administration for the board, was if they want to move forward this year and lock in. It was actually a pretty good price. I know it can be a sticker shock, but in the world of turf, that's a pretty solid price. We'd asked the board to give us their blessings with a vote in March, and then that gives 150 days. The first game is, I think, the third week in August. So the completion date is August 14th is the target date. That gives us a couple weeks beforehand. Now the company said permitting is the longest part of this, just
Right.
because there's so much you have to do to get the permission to actually do this project. But really, from the day they start, taking dirt until they lay the turf is about 90 days. It's not a long timeline for what you would think. So.
Well, and I think that's going to be a good thing too. You'll have it ready before school starts. Although it seems like school keeps starting earlier and earlier. But
we're back. Those are
surely you're
calendar
not back
glitches.
to surely you're not back to August 14th at this point.
No, those are calendar glitches the last couple of years. We've it looks like we're starting early, but we're actually not. It's just how the calendar works out. So this year we're back to shorter Christmas breaks and all that stuff. But it's we always start about the third week in August. So.
Right. Well. I'm sure people don't love hearing shorter Christmas breaks, but
they'll be all right.
They'll probably think you control the calendar.
I'm sure there's parents that will say that 17-day break that's a lot.
That was the best thing they've ever seen.
Yeah.
But alrighty, here we're going to take a quick break here, get some of our sponsors in. I know we have a lot of them to get through tonight, but we still have a lot more to talk about on the turf coming in down here, and some of the fun things that have been going on at Clarion. I know. The bocce ball team, they've been in the news, so we'll get into them a little bit. You're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show, also sponsored by Dubrook, and we'll be right back.
Modern Living Solutions in Knox is always on the lookout for driven, positive individuals to join their team. They offer career growth opportunities and industry-leading pay. No experience is necessary as training is provided. Apply today and build a future with Modern Living Solutions.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kales kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kales, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
For over 50 years, Carly Tire and Clarion has been keeping you rolling with quality tires for all your driving needs. And now, we're more than just tires. From state inspections to oil changes to brakes and total car care, Carly Tire is your one-stop shop to keep your vehicle safe and running smooth. Experience hometown service you can trust and quality you can count on. Carly Tire, the area's largest selection of tires. Stop in today and see why Clarion has trusted us for over 50 years.
Our focus has always been on you at Clarion County Community Bank. We're a full-service bank that offers the financial tools you need and the personal attention you deserve. You'll discover we're not just investing in our community, we're investing in you. Clarion County Community Bank.
Your eyes are the window to your soul, so take care of them. The Laurel Eye Clinic provides complete care from annual exams, glasses and contacts to cataract and retinal surgery, LASIK and more. As a trusted leader in family eye care for 50 years, you can trust them with yours. Call or visit us online today.
Need reliable plumbing or heating services? Call Luton's Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, and available 24/7. Call them at 814-226-8695.
Hi, my name is Jason and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
This game is brought to you by Tionesta Builders? No, Tionesta Builder Supply. Family-owned and operated home improvement centers located in Tionesta and Shippenville. At First United National Bank Freiburg, the Fun Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. From savings to home loans, we help you grow right where you belong. Stop in today and feel the difference at the Fun Bank.
Good luck to all of our area teams from Clarion Ford Chrysler.
Local sales team, local owners.
And remember to buy local at Clarion Ford Chrysler, where all your money stays to the local community.
NPRC helps me with the flexibility of the class times. I'm able to balance work, our hobbies of racing, and our family time in general with being able to take classes when it's convenient for me.
Affordable opportunities are endless at Northern Pennsylvania Regional College. If you're looking to start next semester or next year, apply now at discovernprc.org. discovernprc.org.
Lung cancer screening has been shown to give people the best opportunity of beating lung cancer at a very early stage.
I'm Jane, and I received expert care here at Independence Health System.
Alrighty, welcome back here to Weiser Field, here at Clarion Area High School. Brock Jordan here with Dr. Joe Carrico, and you're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show, also sponsored by Dubrook. Had a little bit of fog rolling in. I'll tell you what, when the fog does roll in, it's such a cool scene here.
It is.
One of the only schools that really has that kind of scene from the river down there. But yeah, fog's kind of clearing out already, so we're not going to have to make any changes. But let's get back into some of the finer details of this field coming in. I know we kind of already talked about it before the show. Some of the differences with maintenance. Talk about some of the differences you guys will see. I know it gives your maintenance guys a lot better opportunity to work on other things because there's not as much work that goes into the turf fields.
Yeah. Part of the study we did on the cost analysis, just for paint, cutting it, seeding, we have contract. There's a lot that goes into maintaining grass surfaces if you want a quality grass surface. So I mean that cost analysis, probably $35,000 to $40,000 a year we pay. Water, people don't realize, like, to keep a field this past summer, if we didn't water the field, it's a dead field before we even start the first game. So we spend thousands of dollars on water, because we have to pay for our water. But and then I said we're never nobody's getting furloughed, nobody's losing a job. So you can't really quantify the cost of like the employees. Where we can quantify that cost is because they're not spending 2 days a week down there cutting grass and painting lines, they can do other projects that we pay to have done. Right. So we hire extra summer help to do extra maintenance around here. We have painting that we need done that these guys can't get to because they're down here all the time. So I mean, we'll see a realized savings there, but the annual consistent cost of these fields was probably $40,000 a year, $35,000 to $40,000. And we said is the biggest, once you get the infrastructure in, the biggest outlay is about 15 years from now we'll have to put in a new carpet. So what we'll do is we'll start a capital reserve fund, and we'll take the money that we were spending on annual maintenance, put it in that fund, so that the next person has to make that decision they'll have seed money there to put a new turf in.
Yeah, and a little bit more about that maintenance. By the end of the year, after it's been used, playoff time comes. Number one, there's not really, I don't know if it's more PIAA thing or a District 9 thing, but you don't see them use the grass fields as much for playoffs just because a lot of them are worn down by the time November rolls around.
Fields are dead by you get about 40 events on a field. If you talk to like the grass people, about 40 to 50 events on a field, and that's practice. That's multiple teams using it. If you have soccer and football, and then you have like little guys playing on it, marching bands, the fields are dead by probably the middle of October.
Right.
So, and it's just because the grass, the root, that's a big thing to get into with. But so that's what happens. The surfaces aren't reliable, and you get in late in the seasons, and you get in the playoffs, and that's soccer and football. You get into that where they look for turf. So it's just a more reliable surface.
Yeah, and obviously the main aspect of this is really getting everybody else to have a use of the field, getting the community to have a use of the field. But that has to be kind of an added bonus to it, where you guys might be able to host like a state playoff game that's not like Central Clarion affiliated.
Sure.
But you guys might have that opportunity. It brings people into the community. It lets people come see from outside the district, come see your guys' facility. So I mean, it adds that kind of added aspect of, hey, we're trying to really build something here. I know you guys just had the renovations done to the press box, and everybody's loved the look of that. It looks great. I know all the guys for the football games for us, they were all ecstatic about how it looked in there. So they were all happy about it. But it's got to be nice, you know, having that possible opportunity for people to come in and see what
Sure.
you guys are trying to do, trying to build.
Yeah, we're very open to football. I think because of the amount of football games that get played at that time of year, it's probably pretty competitive. We're open to it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think the big advantage is going to be for soccer, because there's
Right.
so many soccer games that go on, and they too need turf fields later to get into the season. So, but we're very open to all those opportunities. So.
Yeah, and you know, I know we kind of already talked about Brookville having that facility,
Mm-hmm.
but we talked about how turf almost kind of makes everything else around the facility pop, you know. And I know Darren and all the guys here on the maintenance staff, they've always done a great job in having the field prepared. You know, you just talked about it.
Yep.
You know, 2-3 days a week they're down here preparing stuff. You know, between the water and the summertime. I know when we were here before football season, that was one of the first things Darren told us, like, hey, you know, we're trying our best to get this field ready, but you know, there's just not much we could do without spending buku bucks.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but you know, I think it's really exciting to see how nice this facility is really already. I mean, it's already a beautiful facility. You have the great backdrop, and you know, just to have these schools come in, see how nice of a facility is with this turf now, it really makes everything stand out.
I thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. We take a lot of pride in this, and you know, the facilities of any school district really has to be a priority. You know, we have a student, you know, come to these facilities at 5 years old and they leave when they're 18. So they're spending 13 years with us, right? So you want them in a safe place, a healthy place, a place they can be proud of. The community, you know, this is not it's not my money. A little bit of it, I live in the district, so just, you know, a little bit of it's my money, but you know, it's taxpayers' dollars, and we should spend those, you know, prudently and wisely, and make sure the buildings are well kept and, you know, current, and facilities, you know, because our students spend a lot of time in activities. We have a tremendous support here for our arts and our athletics and our academics. So yeah, we want to make sure it's all top notch.
Right.
So we've done some extra stuff, but I think we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Parking and all
we
that.
definitely want to let everybody know, you know, what is going on down here. You know, everybody's excited. You know, football, that's the sport around this town and around all the district, really. That's when everybody loves coming out, Friday nights. But you know, I'm sure they're all excited to, you know, come in August, late August, early September, see what's going on. So, but you know, you just talked about it. You know, the taxpayer dollars. And I think there's a lot of people that really aren't quite catching, this isn't something that's going to be added on to them. This is something that you guys have funded for over, I think it was what, since COVID?
Yeah, during, around COVID, there was a lot of federal dollars flowing. And the government they were correct. They said, you know, don't you know, buy things that have to be sustained, make sure you're saving as much as you could save. So we did that, you know, and through like PCCD grants and, you know, just like being careful with budgets, you know, we've settled our contracts with our teachers and our sport folks that everybody's taken care of. And we saved up quite a bit. The original intent was to pay off the debt service for the elementary school, which frees up some capital for us annually. We talked to our financial person, and they said, you know, that we'd gotten that bond back in 2016, 17, and the rates were in the low twos.
Right.
So what they said was, you know, if you have the capital and you want to do projects, use your capital, and we'd put aside quite a bit. So this money that we're using, we saved over the course of 7 years. We have a very healthy fund balance, and there's no tax increases, there's no tax burden, there's no, you know, we're doing all 5 projects. So it's not just turf field. We're doing all 5 of those major projects this year out of our capital improvement fund that we've been saving for. And then we have probably 3 more we're going to target next year, 3 more big ones that we'll target, and then we'll pretty well caught up. So buildings will be good.
Yeah,
So,
well, and you know, lastly here, just talk about, obviously you have the cost of installation, stuff like that, but I know we talked a little bit about before the show started, you know, how the lines are painted on the turf and the machinery you have to get. Just talk about a little bit of those extra costs that maybe people aren't quite aware of that come in to just more than just the installation of the actual turf itself.
Yeah, and remember, we practice, because we have a land deficit, we have to use Magic Square, and where the pool was, like that, you know, it doubles as like a parking lot, and hopefully it freezes over in the spring before the concerts are done. And and then the football field. So we have to stripe all those things. So the machine, just to put stripes on, is $8,000-9,000 when they break. Mowers. I mean, you get into a bunch of stuff you don't even really think about, because it isn't. We're not buying riding mowers for a football field.
Right.
I mean, you're buying, big pieces of equipment that get into thousands and thousands of dollars, and then maintenance of those. And there's just a lot that goes into having grass anywhere on a facility of this size. So there's just a lot to it, and that the turf frees up a lot. We have to brush it, they say, which is because it's pellets, so you kind of have to like redistribute the pellets. So you do that twice a year. Beginning of the season you do it, and then at the end of the season you do it just to prep your field. But other than that, there's no line painting. There's no. We're working on that. We won't even talk about the color schemes until probably 2 months from now. They say they say oddly that's the least you worry about. It's just plastic and they dye it. So it's not a big. They just run through these big machines somewhere and they come out. It's just a carpet. They'll come in, just roll it out, and it'll be good to go.
Yeah, you'll see it doesn't really come off when the players are playing on it. Nothing like that.
No, the technology advances in these surfaces. I'd heard there were some things around, concerns around injuries and all that stuff, and we did a lot of research on that. And the research is pretty consistent. There's not a discernible difference in injury rates from turf to grass, grass to turf. It's the quality of the surface, but it's a violent collision sport. So injuries are going to happen, concussions and knee injuries and ankle injuries. Those things happen when you play a collision sport, but there's not a discernible difference. And we talked to the turf people, and I asked them about the NFL. I said, there's a perception, and their comment was the NFL and the major colleges are not getting away from turf. They're asking for standardized turf. So if Acme Turf Company, they want them to do all 32 fields. And if you're grass, they have certain standards they want for grass. So you can't be like the Steelers with the horrible grass field. Then you go to Arizona where they put new grass every week. They're trying to get rid of all that disparity. So,
there
goes that. Hold on.
And I'm sure that's really, probably the number one priority you guys had when you were coming into a project like this is, and that's really the number one priority all the time is, the safety of the students. And I'm sure you guys obviously had to have done your due diligence. And I would hope everybody would know that you guys weren't going to go into something like that blind when it comes to the safety of the athletes and and it's just good that you guys really did that research to and call the people that work with the big leagues. If you get the okay from them saying, hey, it's not a turf problem, it's a standardizing problem, then
and it's a sport problem. It's a violent football. It's played or been to games. It's a violent collision sport. So it just is. So the injuries. The injuries are going to be there no matter what surface you have, but the issue is the quality of the playing surface, and then trying to standardize everything. So.
Yeah, well, hopefully that really cleared the air on some of the things that people were worried about. Whether it be the financials aspect of it, the safety aspect of it, but. We still have a lot more to get into, so we're going to take another quick break. Like I said, we've got a lot of sponsors to thank. You're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show, also sponsored by Dubrook, and we'll be right back.
Hi folks, this is Wiley from Redbank Chevrolet. We wanted to let you know about Chevrolet's new exciting offer. They've come out with a mid-month special on these two particular trucks right here, 2026 1500 LT Z71 package Silverados. There's an extra $1,000 off now. Both of these trucks are over $7,900 off.
So you're saying these trucks are almost $8,000 off and they're 2026?
That's correct, 2026s, and you might even qualify for more incentives. And don't forget, you might not want this truck or this truck, but we have supplier pricing on all of our 1500s right now.
Our focus has always been on you at Clarion County Community Bank. We're a full-service bank that offers the financial tools you need and the personal attention you deserve. You'll discover we're not just investing in our community, we're investing in you. Clarion County Community Bank.
For over 50 years, Carly Tire and Clarion has been keeping you rolling with quality tires for all your driving needs. And now, we're more than just tires. From state inspections to oil changes to brakes and total car care, Carly Tire is your one-stop shop to keep your vehicle safe and running smooth. Experience hometown service you can trust and quality you can count on. Carly Tire, the area's largest selection of tires. Stop in today and see why Clarion has trusted us for over 50 years.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kale's kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kale's, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
Modern Living Solutions in Knox is always on the lookout for driven, positive individuals to join their team. They offer career growth opportunities and industry-leading pay. No experience is necessary as training is provided. Apply today and build a future with Modern Living Solutions. At Clarion Forest VNA, we bring compassionate care to your doorstep. From skilled nursing to hospice services, we're here for you and your loved ones. Clarion Forest VNA, your trusted partner in home health care.
Since 1946, we've delivered. From commercial to residential, we've got you covered. We proudly serve and support our local communities. Call 844-DO-BROOK or visit us online. Do-Brook, your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier.
Redbank Chevrolet, Clarion County's trusted vehicle dealer. At Redbank Chevrolet, we're more than just a dealership. We're your neighbors, your go-to team for everything Chevy. From the moment you walk through our doors, we're here to exceed your expectations with unbeatable service, great selection, and a fun car buying experience. Stop by or schedule your visit today. Together, let's drive.
Alrighty, welcome back here to Weiser Field here at Clarion Area High School. This is Brock Jordan here with Dr. Joe Carrico. I know we've talked a lot about the field here. But we're going to get into a little bit of things that are going on outside the turf field, and I'm sure in weeks to come, hopefully we don't want to spoil anything, but maybe stuff on some of the stuff we talk about here quick. But so the first thing, I know one of the big questions is, the parking availability here. And I know we talked about it a little bit beforehand. You guys are getting even more handicap parking. Is that true?
We so when we brought the games back to the high school to here, we realized there were some inadequacies with accessibility. Mm-hmm. So over the course of the last 3 years, excuse me, on the 322, so the River Hill side of the stadium, we added 3 handicap parking spots inside. We added 12 additional parking spots outside. We're also doing a pickup and drop-off spot on the 2nd Avenue side where we have Bobcat's been gracious enough to give us golf carts so we can bring people down and up if they need to. We added a walking path right behind the high school, mm-hmm. so you can access the stadium from the top of the bleachers down. And then we also built an access road onto Magic Square on 3rd Avenue. So we gravelled that so there's actually parking in there. Quite frankly, that's the best spot. Right. Because you park there and then you take 12 steps and you're on the field. Mm-hmm. And then we built a concession stand on the 3rd Avenue side. And over there we've added handicap accessibility as well. So you can drive up in and drop people off. We did partner with Clarion Limestone, their student manufacturing. They're building us a handicap accessible pavilion like we have here, so it's covered. It's going to be raised. And then we're making accessibility to get to the restrooms. And then we'll have a handicap accessible porta potty if people prefer to use that. But it'll be with the pavilion. It's covered. It'll be in the end zone like this one. It'll be the opposite end zone. So River Hill side, and it'll be elevated so you can see the game. So it'll be a real nice addition for folks that would need that type of access. So there's plenty of access. We do send notes out to people to call us if they need those spots. We notify the visitors and home folks to let us know that they need those spots and we can reserve those. So,
yeah, I know. We don't want to give too much away about the turf here, but are there any other maybe not surprises, but any other things, you know, people can be expecting to come about whenever this turf project is finished?
Like what?
Oh, I don't know.
You got something in your mind?
I don't know. Maybe we'll talk after. But, you know, anything else, you know, maybe that we haven't touched on quite yet? Anything else people can maybe expect when they come here in the fall?
No, we're hopeful. I did share, you know, people want to know what it looks like. Obviously, it's a Wildcats facility because it's a football program, and if the soccer would need to use it. And, so the color schemes will be blue and orange. You know, so but we don't. You actually don't even get into the design phase of the fields until probably 60, 70 days in. So there won't be a lot. We'll have some folks get together and take a look at how they want it to look, and you know, it's going to be beautiful.
It's
going to be beautiful.
Hey, that's really all that matters.
Right.
You know, you don't want to do something to make it worse. You know, you want something to make everything better for everybody. You guys already have that with the usage, with the community being able to use it. You know, everybody being able to practice the usability of it, and you know, I think you guys are really taking the right step there in the turf. I'm a big fan of the turf personally. I know I've heard a lot of players that when I was in school they loved the turf fields. So
I think it's a preference thing. You know, it's grass is the same as turf, and if you go to a great grass facility, you love it, and if you go to one that's not great, you don't love it, and you know what you're used to playing on and all those things. So for us, it was really just being able to use the property we have well. So we, you know, with being not a lot of property here at our site, you know, we had to find a way to really maximize what we have. So, and then there's some casual conversation about additional parking at the top where the swimming pool used to be. You know, looking at some extra, some paving up there to add some more spots. We have concerts, and you know, it's a great thing. It really is, Brock. We were here in the winter. We had a board meeting, and we had, you know, elementary wrestling going on. We had boys basketball, girls basketball. Elementary basketball was going on, and we had play practice, and you couldn't get into place. You know, so that's what these facilities are for. They're for the community. So we're going to make sure that we have good quality facilities for our folks. So.
Hey, well, you know, that's awesome, and you know, let's kind of veer off the football field path here a little bit. I know there's been all kinds of exciting things going on here. First of all, I know you just got back from a trip to Hershey with the bocce ball team. Talk a little bit about that experience.
Proud dad. So I took off my superintendent's hat for 2 glorious days with my beautiful son and my beautiful wife, and it was a wonderful experience. It was a unified bocce, so I won't take a bunch of time, but PLAA partnered with Special Olympics of Pennsylvania. So they do unified sports. So currently they have track, they have bocce, and it was Joe Babington and Julie Johnson came to me last year, and they said, hey, what do you think about this? And I said, bocce to me was what, you know, Italian grandpas play. You know, they smoke cigars and they play bocce in the backyard. So that was my extent of what and then more I learned about it, it was just and this community, I can't say enough as a parent and even as an employee here, and just how inclusive and accepting and loving this whole community is for our kids across the board. So it was a beautiful culmination, and for us to make the state championship in our first year, and I'm going to tell one story about Julie and Jill. We didn't know enough about the actual game. I think the first we played Keystone, they were talking to Kaylin and Kelly, they were the coaches over there, and they were actually trying to Google on their phones, like something. They were like, we don't know the rules because we don't know.
Right.
And so from there to being in the state championship and winning regionals, and we snuck into regionals on an it's golden rule. You're not allowed to call it overtime. But it's just a glorious experience to watch people cheer, and you cheer for everybody, and it's a good experience. So,
boy, you know, talk about the golden rule, not calling. You sounded like Mike Kalinowski right there, and you said you can't call it overtime. Yep. I couldn't tell you how many times he's yelled at Tyler in there running the computer that you can't call it a volleyball game, you call it a volleyball match.
Right.
And things like that.
Yeah, the Special Olympics is very purposeful. You're not allowed, there's no disparaging commentary. And I said, we were talking about, like we went down, there were 8 teams there, and we were by far the smallest school district. It was Black Hawk and Chartiers Valley and Hanover from down the, it was just a bunch of big schools. And people cheered louder for the team that came in 8th place. That it's just glorious. Like you celebrate all the kids, and you have partners, which are your regular kids, and then you have athletes, which are your special special needs students, and they work together, and the coaches aren't allowed to talk to them during the match, so the partners work with the special needs kids to, it's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome
Beautiful
to see,
thing.
the partners coming in there, really turn it into the leaders of the program, but really they probably just get to sit back and watch just like the rest of them, They probably enjoy it just as much as the kids that get to play and participate do. So I know it seems like the kids love it. I know that for sure. I was at the school one day while I think they were getting ready for a match, and all the kids were just out there, they were having a blast. But and one of the other cool things is it's starting to become more popular. We just saw, I think we actually just had a story out today about, the recent CL board meeting, and Mr. Eggleton, he put in that, he'd like to see CL get into it. And, I know we talked about some other schools, maybe North Clarion getting into it. Keystone already has it, like you said.
Keystone,
Redbank,
AC Valley.
yep.
Yeah,
or I guess AC Valley does have it, yeah.
AC Valley has it. Yeah,
But
it's a beautiful thing. And when we went to the championship, we just went, and then this community just rallied. Julie and Jill put out a note and said, "Hey, can we spoil the kids a little bit?" And the community was just absolutely just wonderful and gracious. And these kiddos got to go to Hershey, and then they got a big steak lunch, and then they got to go to Chocolate World, and then Special Olympics sponsors it. So if there's any, so they paid for the hotel rooms. Special Olympics does. PDE pays for a fan bus, except it was 9 in the morning on a Thursday. So our kids have to leave at 4 in the morning to get there. But it was just a wonderful experience. PLAA gave us all free access to all the championship games that day. The kids could stay as long as they wanted, but it was a glorious time. Yeah, Julie and Jill, again, I just can't say enough about them, and our school boards have been very supportive of all these activities and events. They really are. So it's a pretty special place here.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed to be here. My wife and I and Malachi, we're very blessed to be part of this whole community.
That's awesome to hear that a community can really rally behind everybody. Sometimes you don't always see that, but it's awesome that the kids get to enjoy an experience like that, and hopefully many more to come. As the sport becomes more popular, a lot more coverage around it. Maybe these kids that don't participate in some of the other sports really want to get involved, and it provides a great opportunity for those kids that don't want to play, maybe don't want to go out and play basketball, don't want to go out and play volleyball, don't want to go out and play football, and we talk about some of the other things you guys have. You have the esports. Talk about some of the other things you guys have.
We did a study, and we look at like our cooperative opportunities. I know people get always stressed, but it really is in small rural districts. It's about shared services, and I preach this all the time. I can give you a comprehensive list. Every year we do a study for our board on efficiency and finances and all that stuff. And the stuff we offer, Brock, to our, and that's with partnering with North Clarion and CL, and so we have partnerships all over the place, and we must offer probably 40 events for our kids, and a lot of them, when you look at the numbers, it's public information. Some of our schools, without the partnerships, couldn't offer those for our kids. So for the price we pay, we offer a tremendous amount of opportunities and activities for our kiddos. It's been great, and we're looking to add girls flag football next year. There are
awesome.
two sports that are growing exponentially in Pennsylvania. Women's flag football, which is a spring event, and then wrestling, women's wrestling.
Yep.
So and that would be the same co-op opportunities that we offer for the other ones. They would coincide with wrestling and football. And to your point about bocce, which is really interesting, PLAA you're not allowed to have a dual sport athlete. So
really?
If it's a winter sport, and if you wrestle or play basketball, you're not allowed to be on the team. So they encourage what you just said. They encourage kids that aren't actively engaged in athletics to be a part of it. So yeah, most of our kids, let's see, Gabe was a baseball player and a golfer. Marley was a volleyball, obviously. Kara was a volleyball. So that's about it. I mean, as far as like the partners, there's a lot of students that helped, but as far as the ones that actually played bocce, there was only a handful that were athletes in other sports. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's just awesome, And as somebody who's always been really a sports enjoyer, it's awesome seeing these kids really get that opportunity. And like I said, you see it all the time where kids just don't want to play football. They don't want to go out and play basketball. I mean, some of those sports, it's the grind. You know, bocce ball, they can go out. Obviously, they still have their practices. They still have to travel just like the other sports. But you know, it's a lot more enjoyable when you really love what you're doing and you have the people around you to really support you. And but it's awesome to see here.
Yeah. And Julie and Jill again, just and our school community and our community at large. And it's been a really good experience. So, first year, not bad. First year.
Can't complain about a state
That's
trip the first year.
That's a tough. That's going to be a tough field to fill it up.
Yeah. So what? It was what, 6th place I think I saw, right?
We ended up with 6th. Yeah, we got Blackhawk. They were the defending state champs. Lost to them, and then we beat Bald Eagle area, and then we lost to Bristol in the 3rd round. So, but the 3rd round was for 5th or 6th. So, but you know what? Just being there and in the Giant Center, which is a beautiful facility, and just getting to be a part of all that, the kids they were very thankful.
Well, hopefully we see. Well, hopefully we always see 1st place, but hopefully 5th place at least next year, right?
Something to build on.
That's right.
Something to build on.
Well, hey, we're gonna take another quick break here, and when we come back, we're just gonna wrap things up. I know it's been a great night here tonight at Weiser Field. We got the fog rolling in again.
There it is.
Nothing like the fog rolling. It feels like football weather, huh? You know, the rain all day today, about 50 degrees.
Yep.
It's awesome. So you're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show, also sponsored by Dubrook, and we'll be right back.
Lung cancer screening has been shown to give people the best opportunity of beating lung cancer at a very early stage.
I'm Jane, and I received expert care here at Independence Health System.
MPRC helps me with the flexibility of the class times. I'm able to balance work, our hobbies of racing, and our family time in general with being able to take classes when it's convenient for me.
Affordable opportunities are endless at Northern Pennsylvania Regional College. If you're looking to start next semester or next year, apply now at discovernprc.org. discovernprc.org.
Good luck to all of our area teams from Clarion Ford Chrysler.
Local sales team. Local owners.
And remember to buy local at Clarion Ford Chrysler, where all your money stays to the local community.
At First United National Bank Freiburg, the Fun Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. From savings to home loans, we help you grow right where you belong. Stop in today and feel the difference at the Fun Bank. This game is brought to you by Tionesta Builders? No, Tionesta Builder Supply. Family-owned and operated home improvement centers located in Tionesta and Shippenville.
Hi, my name is Jason, and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
Need reliable plumbing or heating services? Call Luton's Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, and available 24/7. Call them at 814-226-8695.
Your eyes are the window to your soul, so take care of them. The Laurel Eye Clinic provides complete care from annual exams, glasses and contacts to cataract and retinal surgery, LASIK, and more. As a trusted leader in family eye care for 50 years, you can trust them with yours. Call or visit us online today.
Alrighty, welcome back here to the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show, also sponsored by Dubrook. Tell you what, Dr. Carrico, it's been a great night here. You know, I know.
Thank you, Brock.
We all love it over here at Clarion Area High School. It's one of our favorite places to be. Especially, you know, you guys did all that work for us on the new press box too. I know not one complaint came out of Bob or Mike or Dave or anybody.
That's
so
our job is to make those guys happy.
Yeah, and even Tyler in there, he loves it. So, but hey, you know, we talked about the turf. We talked about all the fun stuff going on outside of football fields. You know, for anybody that wants to learn more about what's going on, tell them what they can do to learn about it, because like you said, it's all public.
Yeah, I shared, and we try to be as transparent as possible. Call 814-226-6110. I keep this file I shared with Brock. I bring this file. This is our notes, our research, like everything we've looked at over the past year or so. If anybody has questions, they certainly feel free to call me. We'll set up a time. If you need to come in the evening, I'll come back in to sit down and have a conversation with anybody that wants to have any discussions. So, yeah, we're more than happy to have people take a peek and have open, honest conversations about the journey and the rationales and finances and all that stuff. So, yeah, more than happy.
Well, hey, I know, I'm sure you guys are more than excited, and I know we're excited to see it this coming fall. I know we'll be here, I'm sure.
Even the rabbit's happy.
That's right. Well, I don't think you were here last time you were here. We had a skunk here last time, right before football season.
Yeah.
We're like, man, the animals must love it here too.
That's Kalinowski. The skunk came out. I got rabbits. Kalinowski got skunks.
That's probably exactly what it
works.
was, actually. But we won't tell them that, though. But hey, I appreciate you coming out here.
Yes,
I know
sir.
Friday night.
Thank you.
I know you had that busy week traveling out to
That's all right.
Hershey and stuff, but
that was a good week.
Glad you could make it out tonight, and I'm sure everybody else appreciates the extra information.
Sure.
But,
Anytime.
Hey, I appreciate
All
it.
right.
I'm sure we'll talk to you again.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And like I said, this was the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show, also sponsored by Dubrook, and we will see you next time.